Jeremy and George already have me laughing with their comments. I want to welcome them. I want to thank you so much for taking the time this afternoon to come out and join the newbie on the block and talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of storage unit buying. So I'm really excited about the show. I told Jeremy that he was going to have to do the introduction, and he said, nope. He says, you got to do it. He said, all we ask is that you keep it clean. I asked him if I look like the type of woman that would use foul language. Anyways, I'm gonna let them say hello and introduce themselves. I can't imagine there's anybody in the chat that doesn't know who you are, but go ahead and introduce yourselves. And
all of the names that I see in the chat are all familiar.
Melissa W's in there. Didn't you say you needed her to email you about something?
Yes, Melissa W, please email me.
Okay, I'm reminding you now that we need Melissa W to email
whatthehales at yahoo.com. Please email me. I have something important to tell you.
But wait, who the Hales are you?
We are What the Hales. I'm George.
And I'm Jeremy.
And what the hells are we doing here today?
That's a good question because we just came from an auction.
We just got back from an auction. We drove 2 hours.
Well, we drove an hour and a half north. I spent more money on a unit than you've ever seen me spend before in our relationship.
Yeah.
So this is the most you've ever seen me spend.
Mm-hmm.
We left it and then drove back home just so we could be here with all of you.
Just so we can make it on time for this live.
Oh, are you kidding, you guys? That is so nice. You could have reached out to me. We could have rescheduled.
We're reaching out right now.
So, wow. So what did you spend? Are you going to share that with us?
Do you want to tell them, or should they wait for the video in the next 2 hours?
It's entirely up to you. I'm okay either way.
All right. There's going to be a video released of it in 2 hours. It's actually uploading right now.
Awesome.
So you can see it's uploading. Hey, whoops.
Yeah.
And in 2 hours or so, you'll be able to find out exactly how much we spent and what the Hales happened.
Mm-hmm. And Jeremy does everything on his smartphone, from recording to editing to uploading onto the YouTube platform. Pretty much everything is done on his cell phone. So
I do the same. I'm not good at it because I just really kind of, started just a few short months ago, 2-3 months ago, really making videos. But I do the same with an app, but I'm not very good at it yet. I'm still kind of learning how to do that.
The more you do it, the better you'll become.
Which apps are you using?
Okay, so I am using, to make my thumbnails, I use the thumbnail app. Thumbnail?
You know that one, babe?
Yeah, I downloaded that one, but I wasn't a fan of it.
Okay, and then to make my movies, it was actually your pal Mike, the storage pirate, that recommended it. It's it's movie.
Video Shop.
Video Shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Video Shop.
We use that one as well. And then, what do you have, an iPhone?
Yeah.
I use iMovie. I'm between iMovie and Video Shop for editing. And then for my thumbnails, I use InShot.
InShot?
InShot.
Spell it to me.
InShot. InShot.
You hear that?
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of feedback.
Is that us?
My husband.
Leave it to the husband. Right, George?
Hold on a second. I'm sorry.
Somebody is busted.
Do you guys think she's in trouble?
All right, let's ad-lib what's happening right now. Who the hells do you think you are? You know, I had a live stream. I told you. Now, what do you think he's saying?
But I'm hungry, woman. Make me a sandwich.
I said you can make... Oh, it's nothing.
And we're back.
Sorry. He's running the chainsaw in the backyard. He decided to clean the chainsaw today. This is a family channel. Okay, I'm going to say hi to some people. I'm going to say hi to some folks. There's a lot of, I just want to say a big, huge hello, beautiful thank you to Melissa W. Girlie, I love you so much, and I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you got my email. Thanks, honey. And I want to say hello to Adam and Francesca, Rosie's Closet, Ricardo, Tiffany, my sweet Tiffany's going to be dropping links. There was a couple of people that helped share this on their Facebook groups today, and Tiffany and Melissa and T. Auctions by My Big Grapevines for Tea. She's the one who does my auctions, and we'll talk about that from the stuff that I find in the mini storage. She's also going to be dropping links to the people that helped share this in their groups this morning, in their Facebook groups. I have. Can you believe that Facebook group, Jeremy? George, are you a member of it? I don't know if you are. I don't think she is. It's grown to like 1,700 members in 4 or 5 months. It's crazy.
Wow. That's
storage
awesome.
unit. Yeah, it's storage unit buyers and resellers. It's really, really cool. I'm really, really excited about it. So how big was this unit that you bought today?
It's a 10 by 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
10
manageable.
by 10.
Yeah.
That's manageable.
Yeah, it's manageable for us. Well, we carry behind us a 20-foot enclosed trailer. So a lot of people will ask us, what's the best thing for storage units? Do we need a truck? Do we need to get a box truck? What kind of trailer? Do we need a flat trailer, enclosed trailer? All of those things. I've owned them all. I've had a box truck. I've had the lift gate. If you do get a box truck, I always encourage you to get a lift gate. That will make things much easier.
Mm-hmm.
The easiest thing that I've found in hauling is an enclosed trailer. I've had a 25-foot. I actually prefer the 20-foot because you're in such tight quarters in actual storage unit facilities. And we go to so many.
Mm-hmm.
George can tell you, I've been trapped 2 or 3 times since we've known each other.
I have to get out and direct him. That's how tight these facilities are.
And I've ripped off sides of facilities, and sides of facilities have ripped off parts of my trailer. And so a 20-foot is like right where I need it to be. And it has to have a ramp that goes down, because when you're loading, everything's ground level in a storage unit facility. So you get a dolly, ground level, pull it in up on the ramp. You don't want open doors. You want a ramp that goes down.
Because the open doors has...
You still got to step up.
You still have to take a step up, and it's about, what, a foot?
Sometimes on some of them.
Yeah.
So the easiest thing in the world, enclosed trailer with a ramp.
With
and
the ramp that comes down.
For me, because I'm 6'1", a little bit more with my shoes on, I have to have headroom as well. And so always making sure you have enough headroom so you're not ducking every time you go in. That's the most important thing with hauling. So a 10 by 10 for us is no big deal.
I feel comfortable driving our pickup truck, but I still have to learn how to drive the truck with the trailer attached to the back. I have yet to do that.
You've refused to do that.
I have yet to do that because
George, just always go in a straight line. You'll be fine. Don't take any corners. just drive straight. So I drive I have a Ford 250 work truck with a 7-foot bed on it and a 20-foot open hydraulic trailer. So mine's not closed, it's open, and it does have the ramp that goes down, and you can see it in some of my videos. It can hold about 3 tons of trash. And I know that because I had filled it with 3 tons of trash. I have pictures of me and video of me at the dump, which is our dump here in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. It's an indoor transfer station. So it is nastier than nasty because it's indoors, and it is, oh my gosh, it's so bad. George, what I do is I always save a couple of towels or blankets from the storage unit. And the guys at the dump, they laugh at me because what I do is I'll put them in the back of the bed of the pickup truck, like in the back seat. And then when I get to the dump, I lay them out like it's a magic, like a carpet. Like I lay them out so that I don't have to touch the ground at the dump. And I walk on the blankets and the towels, and I make a path to the back of the pickup truck where all the controls are for the trailer to dump or to empty out the back of the pickup truck. So I lay out myself a little
Your own red carpet.
And then you leave the blankets and the towels there, right? You just leave them
Yes,
right.
of course. Yeah.
That's-
And then what they do is they have these big, huge, bigger than life front end loaders. You know, the big, huge monster ones with like probably 15-foot wheels, Jeremy, you know, huge,
Yeah.
huge. And they come along and they push all the trash to this like well. And down below the well are these big transfer trucks that take that trash and, you know, they haul it off to, it's a big transfer station.
Yeah.
And it's all indoors. It's disgusting.
I've seen it on film. I've never been to one in person.
It's an experience. So one of my storage units that I bought, it was a flipping oven. It was, you know, you have to imagine, and I described it in my video. We were like in this small alleyway, concrete walls, concrete floors, and metal doors everywhere. And I'm in South Florida, and the average temperature was like 101, 102 degrees. So imagine being in this alleyway of a storage unit with no air.
Wow.
Right? So I got heat stroke. Really, really bad. I had to literally dump a gallon of water over my head to like, you know, relax myself because I was like close to having to go to the hospital. I mean, but from there, I went to the dump because I'm a workhorse and I don't stop. And you can see me in the video approaching the dump and my face is all blotchy because I was like borderline heat stroke. And then we get in there and I'm like, I can't do this. And my friend that was with me, she's like, grab the masks. And we were like holding the mask. The smell was so bad. It was horrible. Yeah. My videos are pretty entertaining. I put all the bad glory stuff in my videos.
I think we had a storage unit that smelled like her dump, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
The one with the freezer.
God, you must have been afraid to open it.
Oh.
Okay, so Jeremy, I do have a question. I have to ask you a question. So I'm not a big fan of live auctions. I like to do, and I've been lucky so far, knock on wood, I haven't gotten that smelly unit that you just mentioned, which kind of reminded me about this question for you. They do have live auctions here all the time, but I like to bid online. So Storage Treasures is my #1 go-to site that I use. And I also use Locker Fox. Do you have Locker Fox where you are?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Everybody's going to have it. It's just dependent on what the facilities are using in your region, in your area, but it's open to anyone.
Okay. So Locker Fox, unlike Storage Treasures, you place a bid, you're anonymous. Nobody knows who you are, right? You're just placing bids.
Yep.
However, with Locker Fox, you're forced to choose an ID name.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Yeah.
you know who's bidding on what. Now, here's my thing. I've made friends with a lot of local storage unit buyers. So I kind of chose to use my real name, Donatella, in hopes that if they see that I've placed a bid on a unit, they won't try to outbid me because I've become friends with these people, you know, but I wanted to know your opinion on that because I almost changed my username on Locker Fox yesterday so that I would remain anonymous. I think it might work to my benefit to keep my actual name because now I'm like building a name in the area as far as like with facilities, even getting units for free. I get units for free also. And with the other buyers. What's your opinion on that? Like, what would you do?
Well, first I want to ask George, do you remember what my profile name is on Locker Fox? You don't remember what it is?
No.
All right.
Oh, no money.
My name is No Money. I have no money.
Now they know.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm sure everybody in Ohio doesn't know yet. Okay. So that's my profile name on Locker Fox. It's No Money. And so all that being said, my view take on this is going to be a little bit out there, but at the same time, let me explain it all.
Okay.
You're female. You have a drastic advantage in the selling world versus a male. One of the things I've had over 1,000 employees that I've personally hired and worked for me in my lifetime. And one of the things I've always said is a female can outsell a male 9 times to 10 any day. A female can sell to a female and a female can sell to a male, but you get a male and a male, and now we start, this is a bidding war. Like today, when we just spent more money than we've ever spent, what's the first thing I said to you when we got in the truck? Don't use the exact words, but what was the first thing I said? This was nothing more. We spent more money than ever before. This was nothing more than who's the bigger man is what I said to her, because it was a man, me and another guy bidding against a unit. And it was nothing more than who's got the, we'll say, bigger ego. Yes. And so a female doesn't approach things like that typically. There's such a soft essence and gracefulness to selling that a female can do that frankly a man just generally, and again, these are general opinions and observations, it's not 100% across the board, but a lot of men don't have it. And so from your perspective as a female, I would let the whole world know that your name is Donatello and you are a senior citizen.
It's not Donatello. It's not Donatello.
I would go Donatello to get to get the younger generation on your side as well. You know what I'm saying? Go with the Ninja Turtles. And so go with the awesome factor, but tell them all. Tell them all. That's what I would do if it was you, because, and she'll see this as well. Like if there's a friend bidding against something, like we'll go to an auction. Let's say we go to an auction with the Jeebuses. What's the first thing I do if there's a unit I want? I ask Jeebus, do you want it? And because I'm not going to bid on it if he I will back away so that Jeebus can have it, and I won't touch it.
There's times where we'll bid against each other for fun. Like Amber and I, we've bid against each other. You and
Jeebus and you and I have bid against each other.
Yeah, just for the fun of it.
But the beauty and the gracefulness and the delicateness of a female and the way that God's created a female, I would say use that to your advantage in selling and in buying. And so I tell that as a tip for people going to live auctions. Who are you more apt to bid against? Jeremy Hale's 6'1", built like a brick house, or George, who's 5'2", batting these eyelashes at you? Who's going to get the unit cheaper, me or George?
I know. I've seen your videos where when you've had George bidding instead of you bidding, like when you were trying to buy the lot of land next to your house and you had George bidding on it instead of you bidding on it.
And that's very much so intentional. So I have 3 children, beautiful blonde-haired children. And so when I would take my children to the auctions as well, as they were really little, they were bidding. And there's probably videos where, I've got a little blonde girl bidding. And there's a purpose behind that, because what happens is those females have an ability to soften the hardest heart. Okay. So if you get me one-on-one and George isn't with me, you're going to get a little bit more rough edged Jeremy, boom, boom, boom. If you get George next to me, George softens me. Right. And she has a gracefulness to her that sands off those rough edges. And then that's to your benefit, because a female has that. So use it. Use it in business. Use it when you're buying. Use it when you're selling.
It's a man's world. The storage unit business is a man's world. I don't know very many women that do it's hard. George, it's hard work. And Jeremy, I know you say you do all of the heavy lifting. I have my husband and I have my teenage son. They both will help me. Once in a while, my husband will bring in some of his guys to help with the real big, heavy stuff. But man, I'll tell you what, I am like lifting, and we talked about it. I'm 55 years old. Like I'm getting there in age, and it's exhausting. It is absolutely, after cleaning out a mini storage, all I want to do is go home and wash the grime off of me and go to bed. It's a dirty job too. It's a dirty job, but the treasures that we find, what inspires you to keep going? Like I know I'll answer for myself. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that massive treasure. I'm looking for that. I love the treasure hunt. I bought a storage unit for $140,000. I've made thousands of dollars on it. Thousands. It was my NASCAR unit. You can see the video. There was hundreds of concert T-shirts in it, hundreds of NASCAR stuff in it. I mean, these people spent. It looked like, I profile every storage unit I buy. I profile them, and I know you guys do too.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I love profiling them, and I do look them up to see, what their story is, if they're in jail or not in jail, or what happened to them. The one I bought last week, the girl was in jail. She was in jail. She defaulted on a warrant. She got put in jail in May. She couldn't make payments for 3 months. She lost her mini storage. She had it for, it's a sad story. I mean, I'm giving back all her personal stuff. That's another whole subject, how sad it is. But, like the one with the NASCAR, Harley Davidson, NASCAR, Franklin Mint, concert T-shirts. These people, the way I profiled it is they came into a ton of money, and they went out and bought.
They blew it.
All this stupid stuff that I sold for a lot of money, but they bought all this stupid stuff, and then they lost it all. They blew all their money. They went to concerts. There was so many cruise ship tickets. They took cruises. And the storage unit was it was closed up for 18 years. 18 years. They blew it all. They blew all their money. Gone. They paid over $300 a month for 18 years trying to save that storage unit.
That's crazy.
For 18 years. Why is the question? Why? Mm-hmm. Concert T-shirts, NASCAR, Harley Davidson stuff. I want to call it crap. I mean, I can't, because I sold it and I'm still selling it. And
it's called merchandise if you're selling it. It's called crap if it doesn't sell.
It's called merchandise. All right, we'll call it merchandise. But that's why I buy mini storages. It helps my family. I help support the family. I'm a hustler, and I'm looking for that gold mine. I'm looking for that box full of jewelry or the coin collection. I know you guys are big into searching for coins. That last unit I bought, I named it, bought a storage unit full of pennies, because every nook and cranny that I opened, every pocketbook I opened, every drawer I opened, I found one penny, and I kept showing it on camera.
Yeah. We've had units like that, and we find their medical prescriptions and everything, and you find out they have dementia, and they have all kinds of mental issues. So when we find random money like that, we've come to profile to attach that to mental issues as well.
There were handfuls of pennies in just about every bag that she packaged and every box that she packed.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
I found one unit where the woman she had some sort of something. I don't know what she had. There was a bunch of medication in there. But she would take pieces of paper and she would tear them up into little 2x2 squares, like lots of pieces of paper torn into 2x2 squares. And they were in Ziploc bags, and there was those baggies of those little squares in everything. In every bag, every box, like this is what she would do. She had some sort of like
mental disorder or something. Sure.
Yeah,
what's your motivation? Why do you do it?
For us, yes, it is a very dirty job. There's vintage rat poop in just about every unit.
Before you answer, I think everybody in here already knows. When we met, I asked her point blank, would you ever consider doing this with me? And you said? And
I said no. I could never.
Said, Hale's no.
I said I could never picture myself doing something like that, because one, it is a dirty job, and two, I didn't want to go digging through people's stuff. So fast forward a year later, I quit my job to do this full time. But yeah, it is a dirty job. It is backbreaking work. But what motivates Jeremy and I is the thrill of the hunt, digging through the stuff and finding cool stuff. So, and then, obviously the stupid amount of money you could make from reselling the stuff.
Right.
One of the motivations. Sometimes it's not about the money though, where we return either the entire unit or just personal paperwork to the previous owner, which is also rewarding. to us, which is part of the movement that we started, the Restorage the Love movement that was started back in, was it end of May?
End of May.
End
During
of
the
May,
East
when we
versus
went
West
to
collab.
when we went
Yep.
to California and met the other storage unit buyers. But yeah.
Yes, I don't know if you know much about me and what I do. I don't know if you had a chance to look at my YouTube channel, but I donate to, and I did a video in my son's memory. He's here. This is my son, Denali.
Aww.
He died of pancreatic cancer at 11 years old, and that was 6 years ago. It may as well
We're
been
sorry to hear that.
6 minutes ago. So what I do, and you can see it in one of my videos, I don't, anything that I find that's brand new, like the NASCAR unit, I donated a ton of those cars up to the hospital for the kids in the cancer ward and the pediatric ward. And so I kind of do the same thing that you guys are trying to do, but I think a much smaller scale. Like, for example, all my pillows, blankets, towels, sheets, all that stuff, they all go to the dog and cat rescues in the area because they're always in need of that stuff. So instead of throwing that stuff away, that all goes there. And then I donate a lot of my household stuff to a couple of local charity stores. And I have built a great relationship with them where they know what I like to sell on eBay. So when they get things that they know I'm interested in, they'll call me up and they just give me the stuff because I give them all my pots and pans, dishes, wall art, all the kind of stuff that I really don't want to sell. You guys have a warehouse, so you probably are running kind of like a thrift shop out of your warehouse, so you probably put a lot of that stuff there. Or what do you do with the household stuff?
I guess you can kind of say that. Some of it, it depends. Like there's Goodwill will come to the warehouse every Friday. And they're the only charity that will take the amount of volume that we have.
Yeah, our local charities can't anywhere near come close to
We've
the volume
called several
that we donate.
and we get denied.
They can't take it because they have the same problem that everybody else has, storage. And so Goodwill will actually bring a box truck every Friday, every week. And that box truck takes everything back to a central sorting location. It doesn't go directly to the stores. No. So they fill the box truck and then they go to the sorting location. And then from that distribution center, that sorting and distribution, then it goes out to the different county stores.
Yeah. And then there's a local ministry that will donate to, and then nursing homes. So there's certain things that will donate to local nursing homes because I know working in healthcare, a lot of those patients don't have families. Yeah. So donating certain things to the local nursing homes.
Financial stewardship is a huge, huge thing for me. And you don't get to hear about that on YouTube at all because nobody's going to watch it. That's what it comes down to. You see on YouTube what people will watch, what will get clicks and what will get views, but you don't get to see sometimes the actual heart behind it. Financial stewardship is huge for me, and it always has been, and teaching others with what to do with their finances. And the thing that I would always say after you've paid all of your bills, with whatever you have left over, you want to do 3 different things. You want to invest, you want to save, and then the third, you want to give. So with whatever's left over after you pay your bills, you want to invest for the future. You want to save for anything that could happen. The truck breaks down or anything else. And then you want to give back. And so that's big.
What do you mean? What is that financial stewardship? Is that what you said?
Yeah, financial stewardship would be you are
the way you manage your money.
Yeah, it's management. It's money management. And so financial would be money and stewardship would be the management of. And so so many people live paycheck to paycheck, and I'll be frank, and I don't mean to be rude if anybody takes it that way. I've never lived paycheck to paycheck ever. Never. I've never paid interest on a credit card ever. I don't live that way. I never have. And I understand that I'm the minority. But I also love to help others realize that they can become part of that minority and they can build wealth up for their future and they can have investments. And for me, storage units is an investment. It's an investment in fun honestly, sometimes more than it is for monetary gain, but it keeps me busy, which is a good thing because I need something to keep me busy.
Auctions by my great finds for you, says Jeremy is the new Dave Ramsey.
Well, yeah, Dave, I don't, for those who know Dave Ramsey, I don't agree with everything Dave Ramsey says. Like Dave Ramsey will tell you, cut up a credit card, cut up a credit card. If you don't have the responsibility to be a wise steward of that credit card, then I would agree with him, cut up the credit card. But I have a credit card. My credit card makes me money. Most people can't comprehend that.
Because of the cash back feature.
So with cash back on my credit card, I'll pay my credit card this month. It'll be $5,000. And next month it'll be another $5,000, $6,000. And anything I can put on my credit card goes on my credit card. But I put it on the credit card because I get 2% cash back. Yeah. I've never paid interest. So I'm making money on my credit card. My credit card is a tool for me to make money. If you have to make money for your credit card, then I would tell you you're the tool. And that's just part of finances. And he's bringing up a financial guru. So I love that stuff. Just most people don't like to talk about it.
You have to have good credit to have that kind of credit card, though. For those of you that don't know in the chat, you just can't get that credit card to earn yourself cash back. You have to have really good credit to be able to obtain that. So, yeah, it's and it's smart to pay your eBay fees on your credit card too, because especially if you have ones that earn your miles, instead of using a lot of people will use their PayPal account, which your PayPal will earn cash back too. I just got some cash back points from PayPal. So your PayPal accounts, you can make sure you do sign up for those of you that haven't signed up for it, you can sign up for I
think I have mine set up to where it comes out of PayPal. Yeah. Adam had a question. He said, what are the rules and laws about juveniles bidding?
So that's I'll try and tackle that, because that's one of the tips that I tell viewers all the time. If you've got kids, have your kids bidding. Okay. So at an auction, you'd probably want to go and talk to the auctioneer. Now, to be a legally contracted bidder, and you are entering in a legal contract. When you bid, it's a legal contract to buy. Okay, just like if you were on eBay, if you bid, it's a legal contract to buy. You've got to be of age. But that doesn't mean that your proxy bid there with your number can't do your bidding for you. I've never had an auctioneer have an issue with my kids bidding for me.
At the auction that we were at today, a little boy was bidding.
Yeah.
So there is no age restrictions in the state of Ohio. I don't know if that applies in all the states.
There could be some obscure thing where somebody complains and goes,
if they must be 18 and over.
But the thing is the number is not registered in a 6-year-old boy's name. The number is registered in an adult's name. Yeah. The little 6-year-old boy is just holding up the number.
Exactly. It's not like the child is there alone. There's legal guardians nearby that are monitoring and directing him or her how to bid.
Exactly.
So I'm sure that whatever age restrictions there are. So I was wondering that since George is now doing this as a full-time job, are you kind of stepping up how many auctions you bid on a week? And that's another question too. I was curious, how many auctions do you bid on a week?
Online, I've only bid on one unit online, and then the rest have all been live. So for the video,
we had to bring in Manny the mannequin to actually bid for us at an auction as well. So we can't do all the work.
For a live auction.
I'm not the only dummy that can bid on a unit. We have to sometimes bring in another dummy to help us.
So if we do get a unit online, it's because it's very dry in the area and there are no live auctions, but we prefer live auctions. And then for the video purpose, usually because it's hard to hear me, I usually tell him, go ahead and bid. That way you can hear him bidding on while he's recording. But have I bid more on units since I've become fun employed? Probably no, I don't think so. I'll bid occasionally, but I make him bid because you can hear him.
And then me, because of YouTube, I have bought more units because that YouTube beast needs to be fed. Okay.
Exactly.
So
I get that.
So what happens is that beast needs fed, and it needs fed, and it needs fed, and it needs fed. And if you don't feed it, then all of a sudden, I mean, it will grumble. It's like a hangry woman. One moment can be as sweet as possible. The next moment, all of a sudden,
he calls me Sour Patch Kid.
I'm just like that. I'm just like that too, George. Just so that you know, I'm exactly like that.
Even Mother Teresa.
Oh my goodness, she went off on me today, and then we got back to my place, and then she's like, and I went,
my husband will say to me, "Have you had anything to eat?" Because he knows. He'll say that to me. Have you had anything to eat?
I'm not the only female. I'm not the only female. I tell him all the time, like, good luck finding a female that doesn't get hangry.
Right? And then he's like, do you want me to fix something for you to eat? He'll say to me, because he knows, he feels it. He can feel it.
I'll come to her and I'll have food, and I come to her like this, hiding my face. And
I don't even have to say anything. My husband can feel it in the air. It's really funny. He does. He senses it. It's like an aura. It's like an aura that I expel from my body. He'll just look at me and be like, "Have you eaten today?" Because he knows. So I every week I bid on probably about.
Got fired once in a video.
And she was when she got fired. She gets fired every day. That's just the first time. That's the first time we actually filmed it, because usually I edit it all out.
Not every day, once a week.
Every day she'll be like, "Fine, then fire me." And when she gets angry, and it'll be over. And so this time,
it's not every day. It's like once a week.
She's getting hangry. So this one time I actually didn't edit it out because we needed it, because the actual garbage can was being opened and we all wanted to know what was inside.
That's so funny. She's like, "You didn't tell me that." So you guys, so I bid, like this morning, for example, I bid on probably 10 units.
Online?
Online. And I put really high proxies on the ones that I really want. And I've said this before in my show when I've talked about storage unit buying. I never go to the even numbers. I always add 10. So if I never bid to 150, I always go to 160.
Yeah, add 10 more.
I always add that 10, because most people have that mentality. They're like, all right, I'll spend $200 and that's it. I'm not going any higher. And guess what? I'm going to win that unit for $10 because I went to 210, and they're not going to go any higher. So that's what I usually do. For the ones that I really, really want, I'll go to my 210, 310, 410, 510, whatever it is.
What's the most you've spent on a unit?
The most I've spent on a unit that I can remember was just under 600.
Okay.
Just under 600. I don't go into the thousands. What's the most you guys have spent on a unit?
For me, I've only been going to storage auctions since November, so it hasn't even been a year for me. So I'm still kind of a newbie to the reselling game. I want to say 325 for me.
So today's was the most expensive unit you've seen me win. Is that the most you've ever seen me bid?
Yeah.
Okay. So today, that video that'll come out this afternoon in our time together will be so in the past year, that'll be the most expensive unit that you've seen me bid up on and win. And it was an even thousands of dollar amount.
Okay.
And the auctioneer couldn't get $50 over that. So he went, what about $50 over that? And like you said, that's the threshold. People have that mental threshold in their mind. Yeah, they can't go over it. And so I got to that threshold first, and then the opposing bidder wouldn't go there. But I've spent more, and I've bid more than that, a lot more than that. You haven't seen it on YouTube, and she hasn't seen it. And I can't even remember how much.
Yeah. And I'm in the Palm Beaches. So there's a lot of money down here. There's a lot of money.
How far are you from Tampa?
From Tampa?
Yeah.
I'm approximately 3 hours across the state. So I live where Donald Trump lives, where Mar-a-Lago lives.
Donald
Summer
has
White House.
He moved
That's
the White
kinda like
House
where-
to Palm Beach.
That's kind of like where I tell. That's the Palm Beaches. You know, like my neighbors are the likes of like Tiger Woods and all of the big shots. They all live on Jupiter Island, which is literally. I mean, I live in paradise. I live like in the most beautiful part of Florida. So my advantage to other parts of the country is our homes are built on slabs. There's no attics and there's no basements. So we have mini storage facilities on every corner. And so there's a lot of auctions available all the time. And a lot of people that live in this area that I live in are not in the storage auction buying business because guess what? They're wealthy. They're extremely wealthy.
Yeah.
They're not buying mini storages. They're not going through people's trash. So, a lot of the storage units that I get is stuff that, something probably happened to the owner or, family has been paying on it for years and then they decided not to pay on it anymore. People died. One storage unit I bought, I bet the family didn't even know the guy had it because I can't imagine he had it for as long as he did and left all those treasures in there and the family didn't go in and pay for it and rummage through it. It was untouched.
Wow.
I know. I know you talk about, here's another thing that I wanted to talk about too. And you know what? You guys let me know. You can let me know when you've had enough.
We're good. We're good to roll with you as long as you want to roll.
Until 5.
Thanks. Till 5. What time is it?
An hour.
Whatever she says, she's in charge.
She's in charge. What is the thing with the hour? I know you always say that you don't like to go over the hour. I have shows that go 5 hours.
It's a YouTube issue. So what happens in YouTube, if you oversaturate your market, you lose viewers. And so we are very, very conscientious about the business of YouTube. So if you see us just cut things off, it's because you can either leave your viewers salivating for more or you can saturate them and they won't come back. And so we are very, very intentional about trying to leave all the viewers always salivating for more. And probably even, if anything, it's probably even more scared that we're going to oversaturate too much. So like this week, we're scared we're going to oversaturate too much because we
hosted AA on Wednesday.
hosted AA this week. And then we got rescheduled with you today. And then we're on another live stream with DG Picker tonight at 9. And so like today in the car, I told her I'm very, very self-conscious about oversaturating everybody because then we have another live stream Sunday. And that's too much what the Hales.
Live on.
Interesting.
Your super fans are going to go, no, we want more. But your super fans are very minute and you don't want to pour too much over everybody. What will happen is they'll get viewer fatigue and they'll just watch something else.
So does that also is that a rule of thumb also for like a newbie like me that only has 1,100 subscribers and I'm trying to get my name out there and trying to get recognized, and I think people are kind of interested in what I may have to present or what I may have to show. Do you think that's something I should be concerned with at this point, or do you think that's something I should be for those of you, hey Lisa, see, I just looked. I haven't been watching the chat, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm watching George and Jeremy, and I'm sorry because I'm usually like pretty good at looking at the chat. But so you guys, I just wanted to tell you. I don't know if you know, but they have 132,000 subscribers. 132,000. It's like incredible. So I'm only at 1,100. So for me, is what I'm trying to say is for me, like I want to put myself out there and I want people to get to know Donatella and let them see, my auctions, that I do 3 nights a week. And I mean, I have some auctions that run like 5 hours. You think that's bad, George? For a newbie?
How would you answer that? She's this whole different niche, though. She's live auctions.
You're a different niche. So for us, I think once we would
never, ever, ever go live for 5 hours. We would be scared to death to do that.
Yeah, and that's something that we could talk about more behind the scenes. But for For someone that's new to that channel and that wants to build up their view count or their minutes watched, maybe. But then once your channel becomes monetized, then refiguring your business model.
Whereas I would go the other route and go, you have a business model, your business model is online live auctions. And so that is your business model. Run with it and explore it and see what happens. Whereas our business model is completely different. We're not doing that. So we can't really, we'd be scared to death to do what you're doing for 5 hours. Whereas our business model truly is create a video every single day, try and get it between 20 and 25 minutes, somewhere within that time frame, and leave them with a cliffhanger so that they come back and watch another one. Go live once a week, and that live, what it does for us is it lets them in a part of, instead of the silliness that we do a lot of the times, it lets them into the actual, okay, there is a science behind all of this, and even though we're still silly with it, but there's a purpose and there's reason and there's a skill, and to try and help them build that up. But it also gives us a break on Sunday that we don't have to create another video and edit it. And I don't have to be up till 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. and get up at 6 a.m. again this morning. I actually get to sleep a little bit on Sunday, and then we get to go to church and we get to go worship, and then we get to eat, and we don't have to feed YouTube until 9 o'clock at night. And then the lives are honestly part of our favorite things, with the interaction with the super fans.
Yeah.
And the danger is you're riding that wave. It's so great because you're getting more people and more people and more people and more people. And you're like, yes, they love it. They love it. And we want to give them more. But once that wave crashes over, it's going to go down. And so you have to stop it when the wave is at its peak, not crashing down. And that's why the hour, that's why we do one live stream a week. That's why we're careful not to oversaturate. It's all intentional, but your business model is very specific niche.
Mm-hmm. Mine Hoarder says pre-recorded ranks better on the YouTube.
Very much so.
Lives die after they're done. Watching your own analytics helps. So that's something that him and I keep a very close eye on daily, is our analytics.
Yeah.
Do you have do you have the app downloaded called YouTube Studio?
I do.
Okay.
I do, and I check it all the time. And someone said that it doesn't upgrade. It upgrades every 24 hours. Like, it doesn't upgrade. Yeah. So yes, I do. I have that app. I'm treating this as a real business. I'm treating
and it is. Yes,
I'm treating YouTube as my real business. The auctions is my real. I'm very, very serious about it. I was in a live chat the other day, and someone mentioned, they said, I'm trying to say it nicely. Wait, hold on a second. So they said, "Oh, I just do YouTube because I like hanging out with my friends on YouTube. I don't do it for the subscribers or the monetization."
They probably because they haven't gotten a taste of it yet. Adam said TubeBuddy is also good to monitor YouTube, which is another app that we use. Do you use TubeBuddy? We use the free version.
No.
TubeBuddy?
No. Yeah, no, Tiffany, write that down for me, please, if you don't mind. Tiffany said to Eat Sleep Amazon. Do you guys sell on Amazon?
No, just eBay.
No, just eBay. Yeah, me too.
The reason why we don't sell on Amazon is because employees get 25% commission of anything that they sell, and then Amazon is going to take up to 35, sometimes even 40%. So after all of that commission that everybody gets, then I'm lost with no money.
Right, exactly.
Maybe a profit margin.
Yeah. Why were you asking how far I am from Tampa? Are you going to Tampa?
One of my close friends lives in Tampa, and we want to visit her this year.
Well, if you're gonna visit her in Tampa, you have to come across the state and come see me in Palm Beach.
Maybe we have to. All these celebrities are over there. You'd fit right in. Now, I would.
You would love it.
Can I
actually,
Donald Trump?
Baby, I got the comb over for you right here.
you can see, I did a video just before, we were at the bullseye of Hurricane Dorian. It was coming straight for us. So I went out and did a little, it's a little video of the neighborhood and the area that we live in and the beach and stuff. We're 45 miles from the Bahamas. My beach, which is 1 mile down the street, is 45 miles geographically from the Bahamas. So we're the closest that you can get to tropical waters. Like, it's absolutely beautiful. Tampa is the Gulf of Mexico. It's completely, completely different ocean, completely different water. It's really, really beautiful on this side. This side is gorgeous. So consider it if you're gonna, be all the way down here. If you're gonna come down, I would love to see you.
Can I answer a question that one of the viewers asked?
Please.
Auctions by My Great Finds for You said, how many units a week do you try to bid on What the Hales? And the answer is, if they're good ones, all of them. But that's the thing that most people don't realize.
Not every unit is for us.
Not every unit is for us. And a lot of people will see our videos, and you'll see the video today. People are going to go, well, if those hospital beds are worth that much money, why didn't you buy them? Because I'm not trying to flip hospital beds. I'm trying to flip high-end collectibles on eBay. And so while hospital beds are going to be great for somebody else to flip, it's not for me. And so that being said, there's probably hundreds every week that we look at. So the live auction today, there were 12.
There were 11.
Well, there were 2 at the first unit, then went down to 10 at the other. So there were 12. We bought 1 of the 12. Okay. So out of today, that's less than 10%.
We bid on 2 units, got outbid on the 1 unit, so we ended up getting 1 unit.
Yeah, we bid on 2.
We tapped out on the second unit.
But any given week, what we tell people is we bid on 1% of the units that we look at in a given month. 1% in a given year. 1%.
Yeah.
1%.
There was 3 weeks ago, we went to an auction almost every day, and it was all garbage. So we didn't even bid on any units. We didn't get any units that week.
There's a video on there. I was in Columbus. There were 84 units up for auction. I didn't bid on a single one. 84 units. I didn't bid on a single.
It wasn't for.
You talk about feeding the YouTube beast and making videos to upload. Like right now, I'm trying to upload, because I am a newbie. I'm trying to upload a couple of videos a week. And sometimes I'll just go and bid on a unit that no one's bidding on, just to buy it, just to make a video on it, so that I have content
too. Yeah,
just so that I have content to be able to put on YouTube and show people, well, this was a $40 unit or a $20 unit, and this is all that's in it. And sometimes you're just hauling out a bunch of trash, but just to be able to put content up is so important, especially when you're a newbie like that.
And we could talk YouTube for days. We could talk YouTube business well more than we could talk storage unit business, because YouTube business is actually a much more refined and much more skilled thing than storage units. Storage units, look at it, smell it, see if there's profit, bid to that point where you can actually make money, and then flip it. I mean, it's a really, really easy formula. YouTube is an easy formula too, but there's these little nuances, and most people don't study it enough to actually know it. And the danger, like I said before, the danger is riding the wave and then going down, where you got to cut it off right when you got everything at its peak. Cut it off, be done with it, and keep them salivating.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I have a lot to learn about that as far as YouTube goes, because I don't know, but I know that George is going to want to end this in 5 minutes.
Well, we can talk after the show, like more behind the scenes. But
I wanted to show you.
People only buy units with items they like.
Okay, so I wanted to show you this picture. So you've heard me talk about my NASCAR unit, my Harley Davidson unit. And I've heard you say many, many times, only bid on a unit that you can see that you can make your money back. And I know that's how you operate.
Yes.
I don't operate like that.
And that's okay.
That's
completely
Everyone has their own methods.
You have your own.
I use my gut feeling. Isn't that crazy? but it's
No,
true.
you're not the only one.
I'm worried if I use my gut feeling, it's just going to be gas every single time. And I'm going to be stuck with all these junk units.
You're so funny. So I want to show you that unit that I keep mentioning. This is what I bid on. I'm going to show you a picture of what I bid on.
Probably something I wouldn't bid
How
on.
big is that unit?
It was a 10 by 30.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So
Like
we're deep.
way back.
And this is what I bid on. I bid on two dirty boxes, a microwave with years and years of dust on it. You see it? A dirty hamper of clothes. That's a coffee pot, 2 dirty mattresses, and a tin.
Yeah, I would have walked away from it, and you scored big time.
I bid $140 on that unit.
That was your NASCAR unit?
You got to go watch the video. Crazy, crazy stuff came out of that unit.
Is that that's not the unit you got with the swords in it, is it?
With the what?
Swords.
The swords? What swords?
Yeah, exactly.
I actually got this storage unit for free.
No
Nice.
way. That's
I
awesome.
did. I got
That
it
is
for
awesome.
free. I make friends with every single facility that I go to. I just make friends with them. I'm just nice to them.
Yeah,
These
it's important
people-
to build that relationship and that rapport.
These people give me free units all the time.
Yep.
It's phenomenal. And
Yeah.
Jeremy, I didn't leave you out too. I brought something for you too.
Yes.
I didn't want to leave you out. I know how you are with your ketchup. I was frantically looking around the house for the little packets. We didn't have any little packets, so I went into the pantry and I got you a full-size bottle.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
there's times where we get offered free units, but it's straight garbage that we just return it down.
I never turn it down.
There's some auctioneers or some facilities that will help out and just clean the unit out for them just to help them out.
Build that relationship.
Yeah.
I never turn them down. I always take them, and even if it's a whole day's worth of work and I get to haul the crap to the dump yard for them and do it for them, I do it. Like the storage unit that I got free a couple of weeks ago was filled with all brand new items. I've already made so much money on it. It was all furniture.
Nice.
And I'm selling it on the Facebook marketplace.
Yeah.
The woman basically came to the United States. She bought all brand new everything, brand new furniture, brand new housewares, brand new everything. And then the hurricane happened in Puerto Rico, and she had a house in Puerto Rico. She threw everything in the mini storage, and she went to her home in Puerto Rico where her mother was and her sister was. And she's decided to stay in Puerto Rico. So she actually surrendered the unit to the facility. And I don't know if you guys know the difference. I know you guys have heard me talk about this, people in the chat. There's a difference between having a storage unit with a lien on it and a storage unit that's been surrendered. So this one was surrendered. So the storage facility can either auction it off if they want to make the money, or they just clean it out, give it away, put it in the dump. So she gave it to me, and I scored like big time, all brand new stuff. Nothing I can sell at auction, nothing I can sell on eBay, but all brand new, beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Someone wants to buy your sword, Donna. Don says,
wants
how do
to
I
buy
buy
your
that
sword.
sword or where?
I have it on
Is
eBay.
it for sale?
Yeah, I have it for sale. What do you do with your swords?
I sell them all.
Do you?
A lot of our subscribers will buy directly from us from an unboxing video that the items don't even get a chance to make it to eBay, which is nice because I don't have to take pictures and list it and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I get to that point.
everything that we find is for sale. The only thing that we don't sell are the guns that we find and like the coin collection and the foreign money that we find. Those are the only two things that we hold on to.
I get a ton of foreign coins and bills.
Yeah, we hold on to all
We
those.
love those.
Someone told me to bring it all to the airport. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to hang on to it. What am I going to do with it? I just want to cash it in at this point.
Yeah, you can cash it in. But
Yeah, someone said to go to the airport, but this is a petting bone. I don't know if you're familiar with that name, but it's a petting bone. I think it's a ceremonial sword. You want to see an up close of it?
that's awesome.
That's cool.
So how can Don buy that if he wants to buy it? Can he email you and just
Yeah, Dawn comes to my auctions, like every single one of my auctions. So I think if it's the same Dawn, So I have his email address. I can get in touch with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of the people that are
I
in the
saw a
chat.
couple of YouTube questions before George makes me get off. If I'm going to try.
George, can we go just a few extra minutes? I'm sorry for interrupting
Well,
you,
let's
Jeremy.
go back to Myra's question about what type of units a newbie should buy. Should they buy things like items that they enjoy? And my answer would be buy a unit on things that you know you can flip and that you enjoy flipping. And I do want to show the chat something.
Okay.
But go ahead and answer.
So while she's getting something, I'll try and answer a couple YouTube questions. I think Adam's Exploits asked, how did you learn about the YouTube algorithm? And the short answer is trial and error. And so building around that and then watching and learning from other channels that are experts on the algorithm. And there's the one thing that I would tell you, if you're a YouTuber and you're a content creator and you want to build your channel, you need to get rid of the myth that YouTube has one algorithm. YouTube has many algorithms.
So just like for resellers that know that eBay and Amazon also have algorithms, YouTube, it applies the same way.
YouTube has an algorithm for thumbnails. And if your thumbnails aren't popping, your thumbnails aren't going to get into the algorithm. YouTube has algorithms for titles. And if your titles don't have the right words, and YouTube will tell you the right words, all you have to do is go up in the search and what your video is about and search, and then it's going to try and auto-complete. It's telling you what people are actually searching for.
And
use those words.
Ooh, that's good.
So things along those lines. And then watch time. Watch time is the biggest thing. If you can't keep people watching your video, then you're not going to be in the algorithm. Now, somebody else
Sergeant Spork asked
how long should
the
his video be? For us, we defy algorithms, okay? Because nobody in their right mind is going to make a 24 to 25 minute video and it's going to go viral. And yet we've had multiples. So usually you're going to be told 3 minutes and under to get in a YouTube viral video. Our niche—
3 minutes and under?
No. Our niche is a very different clientele.
So it all depends on the type of niche and what type of videos.
Our niche watches a series, like you're sitting down at TV and you're going to watch a
half-hour
TV show. So think along the lines of your brains are, and all of our brains are already conditioned for a half-hour TV show. All of our videos, we don't always do it. We attempt to get between 20 and 25 minutes, a half-hour TV show. For us, that works for us. Now, Sergeant Spork, whatever your content is going to be dependent on your time. And I don't know what your content is. And so different things hit different niches and different people. We just happen somehow to hit this niche of people that watch longer. And we just happen to put enough of a teaser and a cliffhanger in there to keep them watching, which pushes us up. And if you can do that with your videos, and depending on your content, you're gonna know what that magic number is for you. And remember, there's multiple algorithms.
There's
Watch
so many
time
different
is
factors.
most important.
Yeah, there's so many different factors. But as a newbie putting out content, we would recommend doing a 10-minute video. That way
10 minutes?
It has to be over 10 minutes. And this is
like
the reason
10 minutes
why.
and 1 second or more.
10 minutes and 1 second. And this is the reason why. You may be a newbie, but you don't know what you don't know about YouTube. Once you can get monetized, anything 10 minutes and over, you can put multiple ads in. Now, YouTube is just coming out with an initiative that they're going to allow to put mid ads into anything
if
under
it's less
10
than
minutes.
10 minutes.
But if you're under 10 minutes, you can only get one ad at the beginning of a video.
Yeah.
But you're going to want multiple ads in the future. And so you need to plan like you are a bigger channel into the future. So anything 10 minutes and over, and it's got to be 10 minutes and 1 second. You want to be 10 minutes and 1 second over to get multiple ads if that's where you're headed in the future with your channel.
Yeah, and YouTube has its own channel that teaches you how to build your own channel, and it's called
Creator Academy.
Creator Academy. So that's a great channel to watch if you want to create your own channel. That's how we learn. And YouTube is constantly changing. So you want to make sure you educate yourself and you keep up with the times. And we're learning every day, whether it's buying a unit, finding the stuff versus the YouTube algorithm and how to manage a YouTube channel.
The number one most important thing is watch time. Increase watch time. Remember, YouTube is a business and it's a $4.5 billion ad business through through AdSense. So YouTube's job is to keep people viewing as long as possible, because YouTube makes more money of that $4.5 billion when people watch more and they watch the ads. So they're going to promote the videos that people watch more. So if you have a watch time that people actually watch through, YouTube goes, oh, well, more people will watch this and we'll make more money. And they push it to everybody else as suggested. So you have to increase your watch time. That doesn't mean increase the length of your video. If I put out a 90-minute video, like people will tell us all the time, we want more, we want more, we want more.
They'll watch it, but we won't get suggested.
One person will watch it, but YouTube won't push it to the masses.
Yeah.
And so they don't understand. They go, oh, we want more What the Hales. And the world doesn't want more What the Hales. One person does. So you have to increase watch time if you're going to increase your YouTube channel and increase your YouTube business, because YouTube will then push you, because they make
the goal
money.
of having a channel is to expose your channel to viewers that typically wouldn't be searching for you or even watch your videos. We get so many new subscribers that tell us all the time, love your channel. I found your channel by accident. And the reason why they found it by accident is because YouTube promoted our
put
video.
It in front of them.
Really?
So that's how we're able to get more subscribers daily.
So now let me ask you, when you do get to the point where when commercials will be added, which I think I'm getting close to that point, right? I don't know. I'm going to have a good long chat with you guys afterwards, because I'm such a newbie. I am such a newbie. But do you pick the ads that
YouTube does?
It's random. It's a random pool of whatever YouTube ads on there. You
don't have a choice. Like they can put Viagra on there, or they can put a car ad. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, see, that's not what I heard. I heard someone told me that you get to choose, and the least desirable, like pharmaceutical company ones, like Viagra, is, I mentioned that very specifically. So most YouTubers wouldn't want that ad on their YouTube channel, so they're not going to pick it.
You don't get to choose that. So here's what happens. Tags, when you put a video up, YouTube says, what are your tags?
Okay.
Those tags don't help people find your video. The only thing that does is helps Google attribute a actual ad or a sponsor to your video. So if I put in storage units, you're going to see a public storage ad most likely. But the advertisers they auction to actually have their commercial on, or their ad on your video. So the people who are watching, the people's videos who are getting the most views, the advertisers who will pay the most will be on those videos. The videos that are getting the most views, they're going to get the ads that Viagra is willing to pay a penny per ad. That's what you're going to get, because nobody's watching the video. So the advertisers actually, they auction it off to, I'll pay this much, I'll pay this much. It gets pushed to the videos that are being watched the most.
So as far as the tags go, like sometimes I'll watch, some people will just put 3 tags, and then some people will put 20 tags on a YouTube channel. Like, what's the difference between putting 3 and putting 20? Like, what's
real estate? Location, location, location. If you got it, use it. Same as your title. Like same thing when I teach people eBay. eBay gives you so many characters to use in the title. Use them. And that's the way people find it in eBay, not in YouTube. Use the characters in your title and your eBay listing. Use your appropriate tags as well in your actual YouTube video. And there are plenty of videos that went viral that have no tags whatsoever. And we can teach you how to see those all for free. But
and how many tags do you put on your videos?
All of them. I use every space that I can. And they're always the same tag for every single video.
Every single video.
Every single video always has all the same tags.
Would you know what the number amount, the cap off amount is? 20?
It's
30?
Characters. It's not number of tags. It's so many characters. So
and does the comma count as
comma counts as well.
And you have to put the comma in.
Yep, you have to put the comma in to make it an actual tag.
Make it a space.
And that counts as a character.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we should have named this video, this little chit chat about YouTube instead of chit chat about storage units.
Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's not even the tip of the iceberg. That's
we knew we were going to talk about both. So
you knew we were going to talk about what?
Back to what we like to find in units are like vintage items. So here's one. They're drafting tools.
Yeah, I just sold a whole bunch of those for big money.
Yeah, this sells for like $150. They range from
I sold them for I sold them for Georgia. I sold them for between. I got. They were in wooden cases.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, I think I have one left. They were in wooden cases, and they sold between $75 and like 160 was the most I got for them.
Yeah. So it's nice. So for me, I don't like selling big, bulky furniture because I can't ship it. And I don't
Yeah.
have time to meet people face to face or have a garage sale or yard sale. So back to the question of when you're bidding on a unit, what types of units should I buy? Should I bid on units or get units on things that I like? For me, it's like little small things that I could ship. This right here is another drafting tool. This is anywhere from $55 to $75.
Yeah, it's awesome.
This little thing.
I know.
In this box. So yeah, for me, eBay and selling directly to our subscribers, that way I could just package it and mail it and not have to meet anyone face to face is what I prefer.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, with her saying that also, I've said this to people before, even if you are, if you want to just try to buy a mini storage and you think, oh, you know, I think the smallest that you can buy is a 5x5, you would be shocked at how much stuff people can put into a 5x5 mini storage. Now, just recently, we bought a 5x5, or I bought a 5x5, and I have a 7-foot bed on my pickup truck, on my husband's, I call it mine, but it's my husband's pickup truck. I drive a Denali.
Too.
I'm so jealous of your new pickup truck.
Oh, it's so nice.
It was all
we spent so much time.
I didn't want it, and she pushed to buy it. Now
he's obsessed.
I love it.
I was watching that video. I was watching that video like I am so jealous because my pickup truck is 20 years old. It's a big diesel, rot, 7-foot, you know, it's got all it's been hit. But it's a work truck. It's a work truck. If I had your truck, I would not be putting anything in it. It's too beautiful. Yeah. It's too beautiful to load up with stuff. It's like I was coming out. I parked just this week. I was at the mini storage and I parked the truck too close to the door. The indoor and exterior door was an indoor unit. I'm walking out. Boom. The door hits the back of the pickup truck. Now, if that was your truck, you'd be going through the roof. With me, just another little dent. You know, so I don't care. I'm fine with my big, huge. I love. I'm out there driving it around. I love it. But yeah. So, anyways, back to the 5x5. Anybody thinks you can like move a 5x5 unit with your car? You're in for a huge surprise because
depending on how full it is. Didn't we get a 3x3?
I don't think I've ever seen a 3x3.
I don't think there is a 3.
Well, here always talk about a 3x3.
That might be a Vegas thing.
What about
our
guitar unit?
Yeah. So the
smallest unit we've ever got was a 3x3.
They'll do it in a second story, so it'll be a little cubby above.
Yeah, you have to climb on stairs.
I was just in one of those storage units that had those up cubbies, and they have these staircases that you wheel around, and you gotta go up the stairs. That was crazy. Who would want to rent a unit?
Yeah, I know. It's so weird, but that's the smallest unit we've ever gotten. So for those that are interested in buying storage units, I want to start off small. I think a 3x3 would be ideal, especially if you don't have a trailer or a pickup truck.
Yeah, because we had to take one load to, we took it to the Goodwill, which to be honest with you, I don't really like to send things to Goodwill. I try to pick small charity stores to donate my stuff to. I don't do the volume you guys do yet.
I like that.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Always keeping my eyes open for that warehouse somewhere. I did have a mini storage. I was buying stuff and putting it in the mini storage, and man, it was like sitting in there. And I wasn't doing. This was how I started doing the auctions. I started doing the auctions because I started back to buying mini storages after a long time, you know, took a long break from it. I was just getting too much stuff. So I said, I got to start moving this stuff. And that's how I started doing my auctions 3 times a week. I got rid of my mini storage, but now I'm at the point where I got to get back to a mini storage. But I would really Do you run your business from your house or from your warehouse? Because you have a warehouse, right?
Both.
Yeah, it's a 7,000 square foot warehouse. Used to be an old pickle factory. There is nothing,
It's nothing
pleasant
fancy
about it at all.
But it keeps all the items dry.
Yeah. So both. I hate having stuff in the house, and yet she prefers to sell stuff from that. So I just told her.
I quit my job to work from home.
So I just told her I'm evicting one of my tenants in one of my apartments, and I told her, I said, I'm moving them out. I'm setting an office up for you over at the apartments because it's 2 minutes around the corner. I was like, I'm taking everything over there. She went, and what's the point for me working from home if I have to go over there?
It's just more convenient.
Okay.
To have it at home.
Yeah, my kids and my husband get really angry because they'll say to me, "Oh, it looks at the eBay store or your auction site threw up in the living room." Because that's what they say. It looks like eBay threw up in here, because it does. It ends up getting. I mean, I try to keep it beautiful, but with it being home now, with it being here. It's really hard. I pull out my bins when I get ready for my auctions. I'm going to make a video of how I get ready for my auctions. When I get ready for my auctions, it's a process. You have to weigh everything. I have to weigh the boxes and, sort the stuff. And then the stuff is all kind of piled up because right now this is my dining room. But my dining room is part of my living room, which is also part of my kitchen. It's like a 2,000 square foot big open volume ceiling place. So it kind of overtakes the house a little bit, but I work from home. And George, now that you're working from home, I mean, there's days I don't leave the house. Like the postman, he backs up into my driveway. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I hope the mail got picked up. He backs up into my driveway because I have like 20-pound packages a day going out.
Yeah.
Auctions. And so I don't go to the post office. They come here with the mail truck. I have a video actually.
That's nice.
The mail truck pulling up and my teenagers. I have, 4 teenagers. And I'm like, and I didn't have the stuff outside. I was running behind and I'm yelling in my Boston accent. Are you kidding me? Come on, you guys. Help Joe. He tolerates me. If he doesn't see the boxes out in the driveway, he'll come and knock on my door like the sheriff.
All right, what's wrong? Where are the boxes?
I said to him, stop knocking on my door like the sheriff. And he says, how do you know how the sheriff knocks on your door? I said, I have teenagers.
There you go.
You get to know those knocks. Anyways, all right. Well, we are over the time. I know you guys got to get ready for your big night tonight. And I know you've been on the road, and I really appreciate you running home and doing this. If we ever do it again, and I would love you to come back on.
Jinx.
What did you say?
You just said do. Jinx.
Do. Can't say enough. If you ever do. I didn't even realize I said that. That's so funny. If you ever do, come on. That makes me laugh. That'll make me laugh the rest of the night. Anyways, there's so much that you both are a wealth of knowledge. I appreciate you coming on. I was really honored that you accepted my invitation, Jeremy, because I'm like such a newbie. I'm nobody, and
we're a newbie at one point in time.
Everybody starts at the beginning.
I know, but I look at you guys and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so successful. How long did it take you to get to 132,000 subscribers, Jeremy? I'm curious.
The channel didn't take off until October.
So last October, I had a channel and it didn't have anything to do with this. And his
channel started off with camping hacks.
So something I was doing with an ex-girlfriend. I was raising her kid, and we were doing it for fun. And there was really nothing hitting until I went to a storage unit auction, which I've always done. And people wanted to see it. And then I did an unboxing, and people wanted to see it. And then I did nothing, and I didn't touch it. And for 5 months, that relationship was gone. Then I met her, and then we would go out and watch sunsets every night. Remember when we used to do that?
Remember
That
when
was
we used to
nice.
go on dates?
Remember when we actually did something
now it's
other
just
than
all work.
YouTube? And then in
Puppy
October,
love.
last October, I said to her, I want to see what this thing can do. As I asked her if she wanted to be a part of it, she said no. I said, well, I want to see if this thing will do. She said, well, I'll support whatever you want to try. And I set a goal, and I obliterated. I mean, just smashed. And I just went, holy Jeebus.
So come November 10th is when I went to my very first auction. And I think that was when I started doing more videos with him. The videos before my first auction was just like our dates. He would record our dates. And
she had to approve everything. She wouldn't let me, I had to send everything. She would go, no, you can't do this. You can't do that. And then I finally talked her into going to an auction. And then in December, she's like, I'm going to quit my job and work with you. Okay.
So I wanted to pay off my student loans first and then quit, which I was able to pay off. I was able to pay off 45 grand in student loans this past July. So
that's awesome.
From October to July, I was able to pay off my student loans.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's so great that you have each other, that you can, that you work so well together. A lot of people that are in relationships.
That was fun, wasn't it? Wasn't that funny?
Right. And they can't, like, I've known my husband since he was 11 years old, and I could never work with him and, be YouTube people, but I guess I need to set goals. You set goals, Jeremy. You set goals.
We have short-term goals and we have long-term goals.
So here's the thing that I always used to tell my employees. I don't say it very much anymore, but 80% of the people who write their goals down achieve their goals. And 100% usually it's 20% of the people who don't write goals down achieve their goals. You flip that. So the power is actually verbalizing it, writing it down, and then you can see it so you can achieve it. I'm not a person that needs to write it down. I'll just tell her, hey, this is my goal. And so like I have YouTube goals. I'll talk with Jeebus and I'll go, hey, let's make goals together. Let's do this, 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 and this. And so we made a goal in December. We hit it. We made another goal. We've hit it. And now we've got another goal that we're trying to hit. And so I'll even match up with Jeebus and I will talk nonstop and go, okay, what's our next goal? What's our next goal? What's our next goal? And so you have that accountability to get there as well. It's a powerful thing.
Yeah. I need to do that. I don't need to write it down either. It'll just sit in my head.
But I will share this with you. And again, I somewhat share this tongue in cheek that God's not wired me like the majority of people. I am sometimes I take on way too much. And so I don't know when to stop. And so I'll keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And while she's giggling, I am a person who can take many, many heavy things and I can work through them all, but it will be to the detriment of a relationship or what have you. So that work will consume me and those goals that I push for. But if I don't have those projects and goals in front of me, I am so bored, and it's so unhealthy for me to not have something to achieve too.
That's me 100%.
Well, then you get it.
That's me 100%. So when my son died, I threw myself into, I opened up a charity store. I opened up a beautiful charity store on the same idea as Goodwill. People would give me things, I would sell them, and then I would help families that were in distress because of pediatric cancer. I did it for 5 years. I failed at that. I think I failed at it because I was too generous. I gave away too much. I didn't make enough money to support the overhead expenses of the store that I had. And my overhead expenses were huge. Yeah. And I struggled to pay those over as a brick and mortar store. I struggled to pay those overhead expenses. So I started selling on eBay to help support the store. I started selling on eBay to help support the store, to pay the rent, the insurance, the cable, everything that goes along with it. And eBay started to become really successful. And I'm like, I don't know why I need to hold on to the store other than getting the donations, but I can buy mini storages and get stuff and continue to sell on eBay. So when I closed the store with a huge debt, an enormous debt. And I paid it all off in 1 year.
That's
paid it off. Yep, paid it off. Didn't file bankruptcy. made good on my debt, and I continued to sell on eBay and, buying the storage units. And now the money's helping support my family. But I'm the same way as you, Jeremy, where I don't stop. If I don't have something going on, my mom used to call me. So my kids are 1 year apart. I have 4 kids. They're right now, they're 16, 17, 18, and 19 years old. So my mom would call me when the kids were little, and she'd say to me, "What's on the agenda today?" And she would get off the phone with me, and she'd be like, "All right, I need to go take a nap." She would come to my house
on the phone.
Yeah, she would come to my house and help me with the babies, because they were, don't forget, 1, 2, 3, and 4 years old. I was running around like a crazy lady, but I still had a huge agenda on top of taking care of all these babies. I tell her, gotta go to the supermarket, gotta go to the post office for Ricky, gotta go to the supply house and pick up some tools for him, blah, 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 blah. She's like, "All right, I'm gonna go take a nap. You've exhausted me. I'm exhausted just thinking of everything that you," but that's the way I am.
George is the napper in the relationship. Now she works extremely hard.
Yeah.
I can't even fathom another woman who would actually pick up, tighten the shoelaces and haul all this stuff with me. But she will fall asleep like this.
As soon as my head hits the pillow.
She'll be like, "Wake me up in a half hour." And she's out. And I can't even fathom. I'm like, what a gift. I wish I could do that. I wish. And then now I'll stay up till 2, 3 a.m. editing video and all of that. And then she's been passed out, and then she's mad. "Why didn't you wake me up after a half an hour?" I said, "You were so peaceful. You weren't hangry. You were so peaceful. I would never interrupt such a peaceful being like that."
Yeah, I thrive on nervous energy. I'm constantly going. I recently took the day off, and I volunteered to go to there was a big event in West Palm Beach. It was the foster care children of the Palm Beaches. They were doing a big back to school event. And one of my friends called me, and she said to me, she goes, "What are you doing today?" She goes, "I use, eBay, whatever." So, "No, I'm going to volunteer." She said, "Donna, you need to take time for yourself and just relax. And you're always going. And I said, "You know what? I am taking time for myself. Taking time for myself is going out and volunteering my time to help pass out backpacks." Some people taking time for themselves is sitting on the beach reading a book. I can't even understand that. I don't understand that at all. I don't get that.
It's not for everyone. I couldn't do it.
No, it's not part of my
I'd
world.
rather people watch.
Yeah,
if I'm gonna be on the beach, I'd rather people watch or be in the water.
Yeah, I gotta just keep going. It's what makes me happy. It's just keeping busy all the time. Kind of like Jeremy. I'm kind of like a little mix of Jeremy and George. I get hangry and I don't stop.
I love it.
Maybe it's a female thing.
I don't know. My husband doesn't get that way. Do you get that way?
It's gotta be a female thing.
She says I have menopause.
Yeah, I tell him that he's either on his man period or he's going through menopause.
But the funny thing is she only says that when she's hangry. She never, ever says anything about it unless she's hangry. So you be the judge.
How long have you two been together?
July 26th is our 1 year mark of when we met. And then we didn't start dating seriously until a couple months after that.
No, yesterday we started dating seriously.
So when you say seriously, what does that mean?
Like official.
I say, so my husband and I have known each other since he was 11 and I was 13, but we didn't get, I use the word romantically involved until I was 29. So we were friends all those years. I actually couldn't stand him. I grew up saying to him, he was my little brother's best friend. And I used to say to my parents, why does he always have to be here? Doesn't he have a family of his own? Why is he always in our house? And I couldn't stand it. So to this day, I'll say to him, I couldn't stand you back then, and I still can't stand you. I love him. I do. I married him. I had 4 kids with him. I love him. I love him to death. I can't stand him. I
I say that to him sometimes, and he takes it so personal. He thinks that I'm telling him I hate him. I'm like,
No, you go-
I'm just teasing you.
I love you to pieces, and I'll cut you into them. And I go,
If you ever
here's some
leave me,
pizza."
I will find
Yeah,
you.
she says this to me all the time. She goes, "You ever leave me, I swear I will find you."
I will find you.
Do you want some Chipotle?
That's so funny.
Jared,
I will find you.
He doesn't get hangry. He needs storage locker.
I have swords.
And Susan agrees with me. She says, "Oh my God, yes, men go through menopause all the time. 39 years married, so I know."
Yeah, right.
All right, we have to release the video, and I still have to do a thumbnail.
So in other words, she's saying we're done.
We usually release our videos at 5:30, and I haven't even done the thumbnail yet.
Okay, and so we will see you. When is your live? Tomorrow night? No, tonight.
Yep, tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard
Eastern
Time.
I was thinking today was Sunday. Today's Saturday. So, and whose channel you going on live tonight?
DG Picker.
Yeah, he's with Manny the Mannequin, Suburban Beard.
Oh yeah.
Batman the Flipper, and El Cubanazo.
Oh yeah. I think I'm subscribed to those guys, but I don't really watch them. I don't think they're subscribed to me because I never see them in the chat.
We'll be there on their channel at 9 p.m. Eastern on DG Picker. You want to put in the link or in the chat?
I don't know how to do that.
Go into the chat and tell the people. DG
just who
Picker.
it is? I'm not in the chat anymore. I was working on the video. But
DG stands.
I was working on the video, but don't let them know.
It's okay.
Multitask.
Yeah, don't interrupt the video.
We'll be there at 9 p.m. if you guys want to check us out live.
Yeah. I'll come by and say hi for sure.
Okay.
Okay, so we will say goodbye.
Thanks guys for tuning in.
Thanks for everyone that joined us. Bye.
Hopefully nobody's hangry.